Alright, race fans, back for more tutorials with E-Cran 228E. Some of you follow me may recognize this little PW right here. I resurrected it back in September 2015. Been running ever since. Now, if you reference that video, of course, I talked about the piston having a little dimple in there. So it's time to do a top end. So it's going to be a tutorial on how to overhaul the top end of a PW50. First things first, got to take the plug out, pop this out. You don't have to, but we look inside first and we'll take a look, see what's going on in there. And of course, the tool of the choice today is the Milwaukee M12 3/8 cordless ratchet. I highly recommend it. Makes life so much easier. Well, I just did this and the spark plug was pretty loose. So okay, when you put a spark plug in, see this washer right here? That's a crush washer. Okay, once you bottom that thing out, you should go at least another half turn before it starts to get tight. Some spark plugs on V8s have just a chamfered edge, no washer. Those only go about a quarter turn past once you bottom them out. These go about a half turn, sometimes a little bit more. You got to crush that washer down or else the spark plug will come loose. Alright, keep that in mind. Well, it looks like the crater's gotten a little bit bigger, a little bit deeper. It's not all the way through yet, but the fact that the spark plug wasn't even tightened all the way, the spark plug was actually loose. It'll still run like that, but you'll get compression blow by. So at this point, like, it's time for a top end. He wants to do a top end, so we're gonna do it. Alright. Anytime you're taking off a head on a dirt bike, or any head on any vehicle, any engine, when you take these head bolts out, okay, you want to do it in a cross pattern. You want to loosen them up slowly. Don't just take this one all the way out and then take this one all the way out. Then you're going to be having it really tight on this side. It leaves possible chance of warping this head. Okay, so I know this is a little tiny stuff and it probably wouldn't make a difference, but that's how you're supposed to take head bolts off. You're supposed to take them off in a cross pattern if it's like this. If it's a long head, you start on the outside ends and work your way towards the middle. Okay. Alright, we got those out. Let's wiggle it around a little bit. Pull this off. There's your head gasket right there. Little tiny thing. There's the head. You like that, huh? Not too bad. Also, keep in mind the designation of how you pulled this off. See the larger fins down here on the bottom, the brace, smaller fins on top, no brace. That's how it came off, just like that. Okay, so you get a good look at that. Pull right out. That's what the bottom looks like, the top looks like. All right. So now we got that off, we got a little piston right there, huh? You gotta get the exhaust off. Pretty rusty, right? We got something for that. Right over here. Blaster. PB Blaster. Slap some of that on there. Alright. Once you get that exhaust off, slides right up, just like that. left it in this position so you guys can see kind of what it looks like as it comes off. And we'll get to what it looks like when it's off. Alright, we got it off. There she is right there. Easy to not misconfigure this. The exhaust goes on the bottom, okay? That's what it looks like all the way around. Alright. Doesn't look too bad in there. If you look at the piston, let's take a look at the piston. Up close, personal. Obviously we're getting some blow by the rings. Anytime you see burnt carbon past the rings, I mean, come on. This thing's got a lot of miles on it. Next piston comes off. It's real simple to get the piston off. See that little clip right there? Take that clip out. There's one just like it on the other side. You don't have to take the other side out. Just reach around the back and push the pin out. The piston will come right off. There's a bearing in there, so don't let it fall down in the engine. Now do yourself a favor, take the extra time, get a clean rag, paper towel, something that's clean, and put it down in the motor. See how I did that? Not very hard. One clean rag. Little steps like this that save you a lot of hassle. Now, obviously we had to reconfigure our stance on this. Makes it a little bit easier to work on. Alright. So we're going to pull this little pin out. You can barely see it, it's starting to get dark. You pull that pin out, and we're going to take the piston off. All you need to do is have one of these. That's it. You don't know those pliers. Pull that pin out, pull the clip out, press the pin out, and like I said, there's going to be a bearing inside the top portion of the rod. Most likely it's going to fall out. That's why I put the rag there. Okay? Simple as that. Alright? Just pull it down and just curl it out. Alright? You can see how it's starting to come out. Just tap on it from the other side and it'll slide right out. Alright. Now you don't have to pop that pin all the way out. Just let it hang on the edge like that. Once you get to a certain point, just pull that right off. See how that works? Yeah, my thumb is almost bigger than this piston. I know. It's very small. Okay? You got the intake side, you got the exhaust side. How can you tell? There's an arrow right there. The arrow is supposed to be pointed towards the exhaust. And bigger bikes have actual openings on the intake side. Okay? And this thing's so small, it doesn't need it. Now, there's that bearing I told you about, right? See that little puppy right there? Let's see if I can do this with looking through the camera. See? That's it. It's just a little tiny roller bearing. Super small. That's my finger. There's the bearing. It's tiny. Right? Yes, that will fall down into the motor. You don't want that. So that's all it takes to get this thing apart. Now we ship it out and get it fixed up. Okay, we finally got the parts back in that box. Got everything lined up here, ready to finish this project. Okay, let's take a look and see what's going on inside here. By the way, I use Millennium Technologies, and I use this place for the big bikes. Any bike. Great place. They do professional work. I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, as always, I killed it. Here's the gasket kit. I got all the part numbers out here so you guys can see it. It's W5531, 81 to 15, PW15, PW50s. Top end kit, top end bearing, Wiseco, piston. Comes in a nice little sock with the pin and the clips. CW10, 1574 CD rings. Barely see them in there. The head, that little chip right there. It was already like that. Probably somebody slipped when they put a spark plug in in the cylinder. Now when you get these cylinders, there still could be some debris in here from when they ground out all the old plating. So you want to run this through water. Just wash it out with just regular water and then blow it out with air to get any residual metal flakes or whatever that gets left behind. Okay, like I said before, they do big bikes, any bike. So I'll leave the link in the description. Millennium Technologies. Manufacturer Wiseco says when putting on copper gaskets, use gasket cinch. Also, these clips right here, you see the ones that Wiseco gives you, these little half moons. These are the stock ones. A lot of guys order these because they're easier to get in and out. I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. Okay, before you put this piston on there, put the clip on the other side in first. And put the pin in through this side, because see, you got muffler pipes and stuff over there. It's gonna be hard to get that clip in on that side. Once you get this pin in there, then all you gotta do is just put one more clip in there and you're done. See the designation of the arrow going towards the exhaust. Okay, arrow down towards exhaust. Got it? Okay, now once you got the pin in and the clips in there, you see that clip is in there. Make sure the opening is pointing towards the top or towards the bottom. Okay, just so you know, these are the stock ones. Some of them come with two flanges on either side. You can squeeze them together. They're really easy to get in. The ones we put in here are a little more advanced to get in there. Okay, but they go in, and once you get them in there, you know, kind of turn them a little bit and make sure, you know, they're moving in the groove. Good idea is to keep a magnet nearby, so if it does fall, it goes onto the magnet. Okay, this whole rod is magnetized, and I keep it really close, so if it falls out, it'll land on the magnet. It's a nice little tip to remember. Double check, arrow down, going towards the exhaust. You see I got rags everywhere in case that clip falls out. So now we put the cylinder on. Gasket cinch only goes on the copper gasket. Okay, not the base gasket, only the copper gasket. Step one, put the base gasket in. Make sure it's seated good. Make sure you line up the ring pins. And kick it over. Make sure everything's smooth. Everything's looking good. Make sure you lube it up really good so it slides in there. But make sure on these pins right here, okay, make sure these are lined up. A little bit of sun in there. See that pin right there? You squeeze around that. Okay, there's two of them. One there one there. They're offset for each ring, okay? Make sure you get those lined up. On a copper gasket, there's a beveled edge. The raised edge goes up. Okay, the torque spec on the head nuts, 88 inch-pounds. Okay, put a little oil on these so you get a better torque. You get a more precise torque. So I just put a little 2-stroke oil on each of those. I'm going to put some gasket cinch on that. We're going to put that head on. Alright, got it sitting right here just waiting. Now when you're done, it should look just like that.